Your car stops in the middle of an empty road. Midnight. The tank is empty. Your cell phone shows 1 bar of signal and minus 15 degrees outside. The next gas station is 40 kilometers away. No one will pass by until dawn, or maybe you're at home. The biggest winter storm in decades just knocked out the power grid across the entire state. 4 million people without electricity, without heating. The temperature inside your house has already dropped to 5 degrees and continues to fall. Your child asks why they can see their own breath in their room. Everyone has the same instinct now: fire. I need a match. I need something that burns. And it is precisely this instinct that turns people into statistics. What I'm about to teach you, you didn't learn in school. Your parents didn't know. And it could save your life and your family's life with things you already have around you. And don't make the mistakes. Fatal mistakes that almost everyone makes. Stay with me. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how to block the 3 invisible thieves that drain your heat, how to turn your house into a thermal bunker, how to survive being trapped in your car during a blizzard, and how the forest can become your ally even without any equipment. But first, you need to understand one thing that changes everything. You don't need to create heat. You need to stop losing the heat you already have. Your body is generating heat right now, 100 watts, non-stop. You're a walking furnace fueled by food and stubbornness. But the cold doesn't attack head-on. It steals you through 3 invisible paths. And if you don't know each one of them, it doesn't matter how many blankets you have. You'll lose this battle. The first thief is called heat transfer. It works like this. You sit on the cold ground, lean against a cold car seat, lie directly on the earth. And the surface begins to suck you in, slowly, constantly. Heat always flows from hot to cold. It's physics. There's no negotiation. In 20 minutes sitting on concrete, you've already lost more heat than you imagine. The ground is a vampire, and most people don't even realize they're being drained. The second thief is convection. Your body creates a thin layer of warm air around your skin, an invisible film that protects you. But then comes the wind, and it tears it all away. With each passing gust, you lose that protection and need to create it again and again. 30 miles per hour wind turns 0 degrees into a sensation of minus 10. You didn't cool down. You were robbed. The third thief is the most treacherous: radiation. Your body emits infrared energy all the time, waves of heat emanating from you and leaking into the universe. You don't see it. You don't feel it, but it's happening. That's why clear nights are colder. There are no clouds to reflect your heat back. 3 thieves: conduction by contact, convection by wind, radiation through vacuum. Now you know the enemy, but knowing isn't enough. In the next step, I'll show you how to block each one of them, starting with your own home. And the first mistake you need to avoid will surprise you. The power went out, you're at home. The temperature has already dropped 10 degrees in the last 3 hours, and it's not going to stop. Your first instinct is to try to warm up the house. Turn something on, do something. And that's the first fatal mistake. Forget about the house. The house is too big. You don't have the energy to heat 100 square meters with body heat. Trying that is like trying to fill a pool with an eyedropper. You'll use up all your energy and achieve nothing. So change your strategy now. You're not going to heat the whole house. You're going to heat one room. The smallest one you have: bathroom, pantry, closet, small bedroom. The smaller, the better. It sounds crazy to cram into a cramped bathroom with the whole family, but it's pure physics. 4 people in a 3 square meter bathroom generate 400 watts of heat. That's equivalent to a small electric heater made of people. Now close all the doors between you and the rest of the house. Every empty room is a heat drain. You want to isolate your bunker from the rest. Grab towels and stuff them under the door. Seal any gap where you feel air getting through. Hang a blanket in front of the door. Clothes, pillows, whatever you have. The cold air is the enemy trying to get in. Don't let it. The windows are the next problem. Glass is a terrible insulator. It conducts cold like it was made for it. Every exposed window is an open wound in your bunker. So cover it. Cardboard is gold here. Delivery boxes, shoe boxes, anything. Flatten it and glue it to the glass. No cardboard, blanket, no spare blankets, clothes, hang up t-shirts, pants, whatever you have. Ugly, definitely, but it works. Now comes the part that almost everyone forgets, and this is the one that trips people up the most. The floor. Remember the vampire? If you lie directly on the floor, the heat will drain away all night. ceramic floors, cement floors, even wooden floors. They all absorb heat. So put something between you and the floor. A mattress, drag it into the room, can't fit, stacked rugs, folded blankets, pillows, nothing like that. Cardboard again. Each box is made of thousands of tiny air pockets trapped inside. Still air is an insulator. Flatten the boxes, line the floor, lie on top of them. Sounds like something a beggar would do? Maybe. But a beggar who survives in the cold knows more about thermal physics than many an office engineer. Now put everyone together. People, dogs, cats. Everybody is a furnace, and furnaces together multiply the effect. Two bodies pressed together lose less heat than two separate bodies. The exposed surface area decreases. The heat gets trapped between you. Is it embarrassing? So what? Penguins do it. Wolves do it. People who survive do it. People who become statistics are the ones who were too ashamed to get close. Now the scene changes. You're not at home. You're in your car. Empty road. Dawn. The snow keeps falling. The engine died. Out of gas. Weak battery. Mechanical problem. It doesn't matter. The result is the same. You're trapped in a metal box that's getting colder by the minute. And this is where instinct goes terribly wrong. When the car stops and the cold sets in, your brain screams one thing: get out, walk, seek help, warm your body by walking. It seems logical. It seems like the right thing to do, and that's exactly what turns people into statistics every winter. You get out of the car. You start walking in the snow. You expend energy you needed to produce heat. The wind that couldn't reach you inside the car is now tearing through the layer of warm air on your skin. You sweat from the effort, and sweating in the cold is a death sentence. In half an hour, you're disoriented. In an hour, you can't feel your feet anymore, and meanwhile, the rescue team passes by the road, sees your empty car, and moves on. They were looking for you. You weren't there. Stay in the car. The car is visible. You are not. The car blocks the wind. You, exposed, block nothing. The car has materials to improvise. You, walking in the snow, only have the clothes on your back and regret. Now let's transform this metal box into a survival capsule. First step, signal your position. Turn on your hazard lights for a minute or two just to mark your presence. Don't leave them on or the battery will die. Grab anything colorful you have, a shirt, a bag, a piece of cloth, and tie it to the antenna or the side mirror. Rescuers look for colors that stand out in the snow. Give them something to find. Second step, move to the back seat. It seems like a detail, but it makes a difference. The windshield is huge. Giant glass means giant heat loss. The back seat has less glass around it and is easier to transform into a cocoon. That's where you'll build your fortress. Third step, use everything the car has. The floor mats, lift them up. Now they're blankets. That old coat thrown in the trunk? Insulation, newspaper, shopping bags, cardboard from some box. Everything becomes a layer. You want to create pockets of still air between you and the cold. Each layer is an additional barrier. Fourth step, cover the windows from the inside. Glass is your enemy. It radiates cold air inwards constantly. Grab clothes, towels, whatever you have, and cover as much glass as you can. If you have that silver windshield sunshade, turn it so the shiny side is facing inwards. Now it's reflecting your heat back at you instead of blocking the sun, which doesn't even exist. Fifth step, insulate your body from the seat. Remember driving? The car seat is cold. If you sit directly on it, it will suck your body heat for hours. Put layers between you and the seat. Folded jacket, crumpled bags, anything. The same goes for the floor. Your feet cannot be in direct contact with the metal. If you still have fuel, here's the protocol. Start the car for 10 to 15 minutes. Warm it up, turn it off. Wait an hour. Repeat. This stretches the gasoline for hours while maintaining a bearable temperature. But before starting, get out and check the exhaust. If snow has blocked the pipe, carbon monoxide will enter the car. You won't smell it, you won't notice anything. You'll just fall asleep and not wake up. So he checks every time. Without exception, he clears the snow back from the car, and while the engine is running, he leaves a window, a crack open on the side opposite the wind. Just a crack. Enough to circulate air. It's not comfortable, but it keeps you breathing. You're already in the small room, sealed off, isolated from the floor, everyone huddled together, but the temperature keeps dropping outside and you feel you need more. You need something that generates real heat, and this is where most people freeze. Without electricity, without fire, what's left? Physical. surplus, and creativity. Let me show you. First trick, the radiator bottle. If you still have hot water in your home's boiler, and most systems keep water heated for hours after the power goes out, you have a hidden heat source. Turn on the hot water tap and fill a sturdy plastic or metal bottle. Wrap it in a cloth or a sock to avoid burning your skin, and place it inside the blankets, right against the torso of whoever is coldest. Water retains heat for hours, much longer than air. You've just built a portable heater that will radiate heat while you relax. When it cools down, you'll still have water to drink. 2 problems solved with 1 bottle. No hot water available? That's okay. Use your own body as a source. Take a bottle of cold water and place it against your stomach, under your arm, between your thighs. Wait, your heat will gradually transfer to the water. When the bottle is lukewarm, pass it to the person who is coldest, to your child, to the elderly person in the family. You've become a human heat bomb, redistributing energy without spending any extra. Second trick, the emergency blanket. You know those silvery blankets that look like giant candy wrappers? The ones that come in cheap first aid kits? They're not nonsense, they're radiation reflectors. Your body emits infrared heat all the time. Normally, that heat just goes away into the void. But wrap yourself in mylar, and that heat reflects back. It's like turning your body into a thermos. But there's a right way to use it. Don't just throw it on like a blanket. The wind will tear it. It will make noise. It will be useless. Place it between layers of blankets, or line the wall of your bunker with it, shiny side facing inwards. That way, the heat your body emits hits the wall and comes back to you. Sounds like science fiction. It's just physics. And it works. Don't have an emergency blanket? Aluminum foil works just as well. That car windshield protector, turned with the silver side facing inwards, also works. Even metallized bubble wrap from a hardware store. You don't need expensive equipment. You need to understand the principle, reflecting the radiation your body already produces. Third trick, controlled movement. Your body can generate more heat on demand, but there's an art to it. What works? Isometric squats. Hold the position for 30 seconds. Wall push-ups. Tense all the muscles in your body for 10 seconds. Relax. Repeat. This generates heat without excessive movement, without sweat, without excessive calorie expenditure. What doesn't work? Intense exercise, running in place, doing jumping jacks until you're exhausted. That makes you sweat, and sweat is a trap. Water in your clothes conducts heat 25 times faster than dry air. You warm up for 5 minutes and pay the price for hours. So movement is fine, but controlled movement. Soldiers do this in ambushes in the cold. It works. Fourth trick, food is fuel. Your body generates heat by burning calories. If the fuel runs out, the furnace goes out. So eat, especially before bed. Protein and fat are the best. They take longer to digest, which means your body will work all night generating heat as a byproduct. You'll sleep while your stomach works like a power plant. And here's a warning that could save your life. Alcohol is a trap. You take a sip, feel that warmth spreading through your body, think it's working. Lie. Alcohol dilates your blood vessels. The warmth you feel is your body burning energy faster. The sensation is of heat. The reality is that you're accelerating the loss. Don't drink. It doesn't matter what you saw in movies. Fifth trick, the cardboard cocoon. Don't laugh. Cardboard is one of the best cheap insulators there is. Each box is made of thousands of tiny air pockets trapped between the layers. Still air doesn't conduct heat, so take every box you have at home. Delivery boxes, shoe boxes, appliance boxes. Flatten them and line the walls of your room. Cover the windows. Lay them on the floor in layers. You're creating a cardboard cave inside your own house. It sounds ridiculous, but each layer is another barrier between you and the cold. Now comes the scenario no one wants to imagine. You're not at home. You're not in the car. You're in the middle of nowhere. Forest, mountain, a trail gone wrong. Maybe you got lost. Maybe your group left without you. Maybe rescue won't arrive until tomorrow. The sun is setting, the temperature is dropping, and you have no tent, no sleeping bag, nothing but the clothes on your back and what nature offers. Most people panic here. They start wandering aimlessly. They waste energy, their own, and when night truly falls, they no longer have the strength to do anything. That's the path to becoming a statistic. You're going to do things differently. You're going to stop, breathe, and build. Absolute priority number 1, shelter. Not food, not water, shelter. Without adequate protection, the cold will knock you down in hours. You can go days without food, water, maybe a day or two. But exposure to extreme cold, that will get you in a single night. So forget everything else. For now, your only job now is to create a barrier between you and the three thieves. Look around. What you need to find. A place sheltered from the wind, behind a rock formation, at the base of a large tree with low branches, on a slope that blocks the air current. Never in valleys or depressions. Cold air accumulates there like water. You want protection, not an icy pool. Now you will build what is called a debris shelter. It sounds like a technical term, but it's simple. Find a long, sturdy branch, 2-3 meters. That's your backbone. Support one end against a tree, a rock, or a forked branch, about hip height. The other end goes on the ground. You've just created an angle. Now take smaller branches, lots of them, lean them against both sides of the main branch, angled like ribs on a spine. You're building a skeleton. A structure that looks like a primitive tent, narrow, just the size of your body. It doesn't need to be big. In fact, the smaller, the better. You want a tight space that your body heat can warm up. Here comes the crucial part. The skeleton alone does nothing. What saves you is what comes next: insulation. Dry leaves, pine needles, dead grass, moss, thin branches with foliage. You're going to gather everything you find and bury the skeleton, not a thin layer. A real base, and insulated enough for that heat to stay trapped. But wait, there's one thing missing, and that's what separates those who wake up in the morning from those who don't. The ground inside the shelter. If you lie directly on the ground, you're done for. You could have built the perfect shelter. It doesn't matter. The conduction will drain you all night. The earth is cold and has an infinite capacity to absorb heat. You'll close your eyes thinking you're protected and wake up hypothermic. Or worse, you won't wake up at all. So, spread some ground cover. Before going in, spread more material on the floor, more leaves, more needles. Pine branches with those thin leaves work very well. They trap air. A minimum of 15 centimeters between you and the ground. 20 is better. 30 is excellent. You can never have too much. One last technique that can make a difference. If you found stones exposed to the sun during the day, they absorbed heat. Stones retain thermal energy much better than air. If you can carry some to your shelter without hurting yourself, wrap them in leaves or cloth and position them near your body. Not touching, you don't want burns, but close. They will radiate heat for hours while you sleep. People have survived temperatures as low as 20 degrees below zero like that, without fire, without sleeping bags, without tents, just physical strength, forest materials, and the refusal to give up. You already know how the three thieves work. You know how to build a bunker at home, how to turn your car into a capsule, how to build shelter in the forest. But none of that matters if you make one of the mistakes I'm about to show you. These are the mistakes that bring down even prepared people. The mistakes that seem right at the time. The mistakes that your own instinct will push you to make. Pay attention. This could be the difference between everything going right and everything going wrong. Mistake. Number 1, underestimating sweat. You're cold. Your body is trembling. Your instinct tells you to move, exercise, run in place, do jumping jacks, generate heat, and at first, it works. You feel the blood circulating, the temperature rising, the trembling decreasing. It seems like you've won, but you don't realize you've started sweating. And sweating in the cold is the mistake that trips up the most people. Water conducts heat 25 times faster than air. 25 times. When your clothes get damp with sweat, they stop insulating you and start draining you. Every drop that evaporates pulls heat from your body along with it. You exercise to warm up and ended up creating a trap that will cool you down for the rest of the night. So yes, movement helps, but controlled movement. Tense your leg muscles for 10 seconds. Relax. Press your arms against your body. Release. Generate heat without generating sweat. Soldiers do this in ambushes in the cold. It works. Mistake number 2, cotton. It seems harmless. It's soft, comfortable. Everyone has it, and when it's dry, it even works reasonably well. The problem is that cotton absorbs moisture like a sponge. Sweat, melted snow, anything, and doesn't dry. It stays there wet, stuck to your skin, sucking your heat for hours. There's a saying among mountaineers, cotton kills. Cotton kills. It seems like an exaggeration until you spend a night in a soaked cotton t-shirt in the cold. Wool and synthetics are different. Even when wet, they continue to insulate. If you have a choice, choose anything but cotton. Mistake number 3. Breathing incorrectly. It sounds silly, but listen. When you breathe through your mouth in the cold air goes straight into your lungs. Your body spends energy warming that air. It does this all night long, and you've burned calories you needed to maintain your temperature. Breathe through your nose. The air passes through the nasal cavities, warming up before reaching the lungs. It's a natural preheater you already have installed. Use it. Mistake number 4, ignoring the extremities. Your fingers, your toes, your ears, your nose. These areas have a lot of exposed surface area and little mass to retain heat. When your body starts to get really cold, it makes a brutal choice. It sacrifices the extremities to protect vital organs. Blood concentrates in the torso. Your fingers turn pale, then numb, then begin to freeze. That's frostbite, and it can cost you fingers. It can cost you feet. It can change your life forever. So protect the extremities before they start to complain. Hands in armpits, feet tucked close to the body, hat on your head. You don't lose 90% of your heat through your head. That's a myth, but the head has many blood vessels close to the surface and cools down quickly. Ears covered, nose protected. If your fingers start to go numb, stop everything and warm them up immediately. Rub them. Place them against the warm skin of your abdomen. Don't ignore them. Mistake number 5, trusting the sensation of warmth. This is the most treacherous of all. You've been cold for hours, shivering nonstop, and suddenly the shivering stops. A wave of warmth spreads through your body. You feel almost a relief. You think about taking off a layer of clothing because you're even sweating. It seems like your body is finally adapted. That's hypothermia knocking you down. The shivering stopped because your body gave up trying to generate heat. The sensation of heat is your brain collapsing. People who find bodies of hypothermia victims sometimes find them naked. The person took everything off at the end, thinking they were hot. If you stop shivering but are still in a cold environment, that's a red emergency. Don't take off your clothes. Don't trust your gut feeling. Trust what you know. Get into the fetal position. Call for help. Do anything to generate external heat. And don't close your eyes. Mistake number 6, social isolation. You're with other people, but you're too embarrassed to get close, to share a blanket, to squeeze into the same cramped space. That's your ego sabotaging you. The cold doesn't care about your social comfort. 2 bodies together lose less heat than 2 bodies apart. Period. If you have the option to bring people together, do it. Say it's about survival, not intimacy. Say it's physics, not choice. And if someone refuses, insist. You might be saving that person's life and your own. Now, you know the mistakes. You know what to avoid. You know what to do. But one thing is still missing. The thing that brings it all together and transforms knowledge into real survival. Now you know. And knowing is the first step to survival. If this video resonated with you, send it to someone who needs to see it. It could be the information that changes everything for that person someday. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and comment below which part resonated with you the most, which technique were you unfamiliar with. See you in the next video. Stay safe, stay prepared, stay alive.